Hey everybody, it's Chris Marciano from Prepare to Act. I'm sitting here with Brandon Dufour, CEO and founder of the Next Street in Watertown, Connecticut. Brandon and I have known each other for a couple years. We've been working together. So, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks
Thanks.
for talking safety with us.
Brandon and I have done some work in the past. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Next Street?
Cool. So Next Street, we are the largest driving school in Connecticut. We also like to say we're the best. We teach about 20,000 kids a year, first-time drivers, how to drive in 35 locations around Connecticut. We have about 150 employees. And, this is one of the things that keeps me up at night. The reason that I called you initially was, hey, I see all this stuff on TV about active shooters and things that go on in workplaces, and I know for a fact that we've done nothing for our staff, and I just feel this real obligation to get my team trained and to just think about like what happens if, because I don't want it to be something that actually happens and then and we've done nothing. So that's what started the conversation, and since we've done staff training, we've done big seminars, we've done some walkthroughs in here, and I think it's been helpful.
It's one of the biggest things that we see is that owners of businesses are not as forward thinking as you are, with the fact that you want to
Thank
be
you.
proactive and
That's a metaphor.
and make your forward thinking, and the fact that you want to make sure that your staff are safer.
Yeah, the easy thing is to not address it, right? The easy thing is to just go, look, it hasn't happened yet. I'm not going to think about it. But then when it does happen, you don't want to go back and go, well, I could have and I should have done something about it. And so it was a pretty conscious decision with our whole leadership team of this is necessary. Like we need to make sure. And active shooter I think is the most extreme version, right? Like the fact that somebody could bring a gun to the workplace seems so distant and like it's never going to happen to me. But it's also, our customers are mostly 16-year-old kids. We not regularly, but have in the past found ourselves in the middle of divorce battles,
Right.
where you've got a dad dropping off a kid, and now mom is coming to pick the kid up, and the kid is saying to a driving instructor, I don't want to go home with my mom. And our driving instructors are incredible at teaching kids how to drive. They haven't been trained on what to do in that situation. So that was one of the things that came up that was like, this is bigger than our knowledge base internally, right? This is stuff that's really happening, and we just felt like we didn't have the capacity to realistically train somebody on it other than, I don't know, try and maybe we'll call the dad for you or something, right? So that's where Chris came in and really helped our staff to know what to do in those situations. And it was as simple as creating a protocol and a process for it, right? So that when this happens, do these steps. And we went through that system of creating it and then trained all of our staff on it. And now we can at least sleep soundly knowing that if it does happen, we've provided everybody with the knowledge that they need to successfully manage that situation. And, God willing, it never happens and it doesn't happen, but we can sleep a little better at night.
And that's the whole point of what we're doing, And a lot of times that we've talked about is police response if there is a problem at your place. What is the average police response? You're still talking best case scenario 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I've talked with your staff. We work with your staff and realize that those 2 or 3 minutes are vital while you're waiting for law enforcement to get there. And I think that the training that we've done with them has been effective, where they can figure out ways to be safe and create some distance and contact the people they need to contact in case it does happen.
And I think one of the interesting things that's happened with our staff is they've all rallied around each other and the concept of keeping each other safe and secure.
Yeah.
So just by providing the training and starting the conversation, that's led to more conversations where they won't let each other leave the building alone at night.
That's
right?
huge.
It went from being in the winter, it's dark, it's 6 o'clock, we close the doors, we lock the doors behind us, and now you've got a 23-year-old girl walking alone across a parking lot that's relatively well lit, but she's alone, and she was going alone every Friday, right? And what your training pointed out was like, routines are bad. Don't do routines. Don't put yourself in a position that somebody can notice every Friday this girl's alone in a parking lot.
And creatures of habit, right? So human nature says that our habits are our habits, and that's what we do, and people pay attention to that stuff. So even that seminar we did, was that in February when you guys had that
Yeah.
a year?
All staff training.
Yeah. I found that training was super effective with your staff because they were so involved and committed to the idea that we need to train them on those things, you know. So it's been effective. It's been great working with you guys.
Yeah, thanks. It's fun to watch the staff rally around just this idea of keeping each other safe, and it went from being an employer initiative of we're going to do this and we're investing in this to the staff saying no, we'll take it from here, right? And now we kind of go, okay,
Yeah, right.
awesome.
See you Monday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's been really good, and I don't know, I sure sleep better at night.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about.
You know what's another thing that started the tornado? Remember when the tornado happened?
Yeah.
And we had a conversation about it, but we get all these, the phone starts beeping and there's a tornado coming in the next hour, right? And I've got 85 cars on the roads with kids driving them.
Panic is set in.
And we've done nothing, right? In the past, we've done nothing to prepare for that moment.
That's
and
how this whole thing started. That is how this started.
It was an oh shit, like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like, what do we do now? And we figured it out, fortunately, in that moment of, our communication system went into place and the staff kind of like raised their hands and said, we're going to get together and we're going to figure it out. But it was scary and awful there for a minute, where now the protocol's in place. When the red flag goes up, when the emergency is happening, everybody knows where to go. Right, everybody knows that, like, okay, this is happening. I'm responsible for sending out the communications to parents. I'm responsible for getting the instructors off the road. I'm responsible for making sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be and accounted for. And then when the emergency is over, I'm responsible for doing a head count and making sure that everybody is safe. And just knowing that that exists, it's like buying a new pillow. I sleep so much better.
My pillow? My pillow?
I'm not going to endorse that.
The great thing about what you're doing, and to that credit, to that story, is that most people that are responsible just need to know from their bosses or their supervisors what they are expected to do. And once you know what you're expected to do, it makes everything so much easier. Yeah. So it does help you sleep at night. And that's huge to see have you say that and see the staff that you have accept that as a mission.
Good. What else is going on? How's Prepared Act?
Prepared Act's doing well, working at it. The grind is real, Police department's good. Rick and Dave are doing well behind the cameras for us.
Good.
Yeah. No, things are good. Things are busy.
How are the kids?
Kids are crazy. Ryan will be 7 in November.
First grade?
No, he's in 2nd grade. He'll be going into 2nd grade. He's at camp right now, doing God knows what. And the youngest one is, we call him Satan for short on occasion. 3 years old. He's
second child syndrome?
Yes. He tests his boundaries. He's grumpier than our first. But, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love him to death. And
mine are the opposite. My first is cranky as all get out. And
really?
My daughter is as chill could be. I like to say that my son is just like my wife. He looks just like me and acts just like her.
Yeah.
And my daughter looks, God help, thank God.
The cameras are still rolling, right?
She looks just like my wife. She is a pretty little thing, and she is as cool as me. Just wants to hang.
Is your wife going to see this?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She was going to share it right up to this point. No, she's not.
My wife won't share because I didn't even mention her in my description. But no, life is good. I'll knock on some wood. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be welcome to the Next Street family. You guys got a really good thing going here, and just the opportunities that I've had with you guys are fantastic. So just getting some time with you is important. It's good to see that things are in place, things are working well.
Yeah, it's fun watching you do this business grind is not easy. For anybody that's doing this entrepreneurship thing, it looks fun until you're in it, and then it's every day is scraping away and solving problems, and I think you're in a position with your business that you've created a really interesting solution to a really clear problem, and now it's just figuring out how to let the world know about that. And
that's the biggest issue, is that you know, the grind is real. You know, this has been an 8-year project, if not a 9-year project, you know, pretty close to it. And with the passion that I have to believe in the message, it's frustrating when I can't relay that to the people I want to get it to and be like, this is important, you know.
Mm.
And it's important for so many reasons. It's important for, like you're talking about with your family, my family, you know, like that's my fight, and your family's your fight, you know. Just, you want to be able to get that out to people and realize, listen, we don't want you to be paranoid. Just be prepared, you know. I mean, just understand it could happen, and take the steps to be more confident and be secure in yourself and your life, you know. But it's exhausting, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a tiring road, but
I'd love to tell you it gets easier, but it doesn't.
no.
More
It feels like
employees
getting
and the
more difficult.
Yeah, it's just different challenges, but it's also, if it was easy, probably wouldn't be worth it.
No, and you know what? You learn so much about yourself in the journey, you know, and you learn about life and what you're good at, what you're not good at, and you realize that the things that you're not good at, you still need to get better at them, and you can't just put it away. You know, you got to get better at it. You got to work at it, and just such a huge life lesson for me. You know, a confidence builder, and it's opening my eyes for sure.
And just when you think you'll have it figured out, some new idea will pop in your head. And you'll go, oh, I want to try that now. And it sends it. It's a whole new journey. So
Brandon's relationship with me is pretty basic. He just keeps my feet on the ground like that. He reminds me that the hill is still steep to climb. So,
yeah. All right, brother.
Anything
Thanks for
else?
coming in.
I appreciate your time.
It's good to see you.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.